Hi guys, welcome to my session on AWS, and in today's session we are going to look at EBS for Windows instance. This is just a continuation to our previous video where we saw something about how to create EBS volumes for Linux instances, attaching it to the instance, formatting it, expanding the size of that volume, transferring the EBS volume from one instance to another instance, then creating a snapshot from one volume and creating a new volume and attaching it to an instance in some other availability zone. All those things we have seen as part of the last video. And in today's video, we will be looking at how to do the same thing with Windows instance. So pretty much 90% everything will be same like our previous video, but in certain cases where we'll be formatting our volume and the way we do that formatting and those things will be differing from our Linux instance. Right. So if you are not clear with those concepts, so it's better you see the previous video on EBS. That will give you much better idea. Then you can continue with this video. Okay, let's get started. I'm just clicking on my account and just logging in. Let it come up. Fine. We are in now. Click on EC2. So this is my dashboard. As I always say, you have to look at this dashboard before signing out. So right now I don't have any instances running. I'm just launching a new instance. Click on launch instance. This time we are going to launch a Windows instance. Just scroll down. You will see Windows free tier eligible. So I'm just selecting that instance. Selecting that AMI. So the instance type should be T2 micro. That is the only thing available under free tier. So in configuring instance details, you don't want to change anything. If required, you can change something like you can choose the subnet as you want. So I'm just ignoring it. So it will be picked in random. Click on add storage. See here, since it is a Windows instance, we see a 30 GB EBS already getting attached, and the type of the EBS is general purpose. So I'm just sticking with the basics or the default thing, whatever comes up with this easy to launch. Clicking on add tags, just naming it as EBS for Windows. Click on configure security group. Select a security group. Remember, you have to open up the RDP port 3389. Review and launch. Just scroll down. You can verify all your details. Then you can launch your instance. You have to select your key pair. Click on acknowledge and launch your instance. Fine. So our instance is ready. Let it come up. Since it is a Windows instance, it takes some time to come up. So let's wait for a few more minutes. In the meantime, we will look at EBS stuff. Still pending. Right, it is running now. So our system is up and running. So it's good to go. Fine. So how to connect to this Windows instance. So we have already seen launching a Windows instance, how to connect to it. It is a bit different from launching a Linux instance and connecting to it. So for Linux instance, what we'll be doing is like we'll be using PuTTY to connect to that instance. Whereas for Windows, PuTTY is not required because we'll be using RDP, remote desktop port, and we will be downloading the remote desktop file, then converting the key file into passwords. So because our key file is an encrypted certificate, so we'll be decrypting it and converting that into password. We have all those procedures, so we'll be doing the same thing here as well. Apart from doing all those things, our objective here is how to link an EBS volume with this Windows instance. That's it. Fine. So let me try to connect to this Windows instance. Click on connect. Obviously it will take some time. You can in the meantime download the remote desktop file, which is a shortcut to connect to this instance, and you can click on password to get the password. By default the username is administrator, as you all know. So click on get password. So it takes at least 4 minutes. Okay, let's give it some time. In the meantime, we'll look at EBS. So I'm going to the home page. Click on EC2. So already an instance is running. One volume which is of 30 GB is already linked with this running instance. I'm just going down. Click on volumes. So here I'm going to create a new volume. Click on create volume. So you have different types, as you all know. General purpose. Here mostly the type differs with your IUPS. In general purpose, you will get 3 IUPS for every GB whichever you are asking for. Whereas in provisioned IUPS, you can go for something like customized IUPS, where you can opt for something like for every GB you can go for anything less than or equal to 50 IUPS. Cold HDD and throughput optimized HDD or for bulk data store like data warehousing, big data processing, where you have to go for minimum 500 GB of storage. And magnetic is like a cold storage within EBS, where you don't have a defined IUPS. Approximately you get around 100 IUPS. We'll go with general purpose here. So I'm just selecting the size as 2 GB. And last session we saw about snapshots as well. Go to a tag, just name it as 2 GB volume. Just create your volume. Once the volume is created, it's that we need to try to attach this volume, because see the state of this, it is an available state. Click on 2 GB volume, go to actions, click on attach volume. And if you click here, it will show you all the instances running in that particular availability zone. Click here. Oops, we don't see any of the instances running in this zone because sorry, because it is like our previous demo. Even this EBS can be attached only with your instances which is running in that same availability zone. If you look at this volume has been created in availability zone A, whereas the instance is running in availability zone B. So let me delete this volume because I can't attach this to that particular instance, and I need to create a new volume in the required availability zone, which is in availability zone B. So let me create a new volume. Click on create volume, 2 GB, and this time it should be in B. I can give a tag name as 2 GB volume. Click on create volume. Just close it. Refresh it. You will see this volume. So now click on this volume, whichever we have created now. Go to actions, attach volume. Click on instance here. It will show us the instance details. So EBS for Windows. This is what we created. Select your instance and then attach it. The state has become in use now. Let's go back to instances. So this is our instance. If you go to the block devices, currently it is showing only the root device. So if I refresh it, we'll get that additional 2 GB volume. Fine. So let's try to connect to this instance. Let's log in into the instance, and then we will see how to format the volume, how to attach the volume, how to make it online. All those things we'll be seeing in that. Click on connect. We have already downloaded the remote desktop file. We are good with that. Click on get password. Yeah, here it is. Now you have to upload your key file, which is in PEM format, not PPK. PPK is normally used only with your PuTTY, not with any other type. So we will be uploading the PEM file and we'll be decrypting the password. So let me choose that file. This is my key file. So once uploaded, you can click on decrypt password. Yeah, here it is. This is your password and this is your username. Let me save it somewhere. So this is just your initial username and password. You can change it once you log in. Sorry, this is your password. Username is administrator. Fine. Now how to log in into this EC2 instance. So go to this remote desktop file, double click on this, click on connect. It will ask your password. Just paste it because since we have already copied it. Click on OK. So it's a normal remote desktop connection. So our instance is running in cloud. That's the only difference. So you'll see all those coming up like personalizing your settings, preparing your desktop, all those things. Yeah, we are in now. So this is our Windows instance. We have done a remote desktop connection and we are accessing that over from our system. So go to my computer and just opening it, Windows E. Click on this PC. See, we see only our local disk, which is around 30 GB. Our default root volume, which is of 30 GB. We are not seeing that 2 GB volume. It's because our 2 GB volume is not formatted and we need to make it online and initialize our disk. Only then you can see it. Something like what we did in our Linux. We formatted it, then we mounted that volume. Only then we were able to see it using the command df-h, right? The similar kind of stuff need to be done in Windows, but we will be doing that using disk management. So how to do that? So very simple. You can go to control panel and go for disk management. That is one option, but you can go with run command. Just type this disk management.msc. If you just give this, it will straight away go to disk management. Let me maximize this. You see this 2 GB here, just it is in offline state. Right click on it, make it online. Then you see the disk is not initialized. So again, right click on this and click on initialize disk. Okay. So it is online and it has been initialized. Now you have to format this volume. So how to do that? Click on this volume, right click on it, click on new simple volume. Once you do this, it's very simple in Windows. Go to next. It will ask you how much size you want to format it. You can use the entire size. Click on next. You can assign any of the volume names starting from D. You can't use C because it has been already utilized. C, D, E, it's optional to you. Go to next. Which formatting file system you need? NTFS, NFS, FAT file system, whatever you want. And we are going to perform a quick format and you can even give a name. AWS EBS. Give a name, go to next and finish it. So our job is done. You can close this. You see here AWS EBS, our new volume is ready. It looks like a new drive, but only we know that it is from AWS. It's an EBS volume from AWS. It's plain and simple. Now I can go here. So I can paste some files. Sample.txt. I can paste it here. See, I'm pasting it from my local. Anything can be done. As simple as that. See here. So in no time we created a new volume and we have done all those things. So something like attaching it, copying files inside it. It will be exactly like a pen drive. Whenever you want it, you can attach it. Whenever you don't want, you can remove it and attach it to another EC2 instance. It's as simple as that. That's it. Yeah. So we are done with our demo and hope you people are good with understanding these EBS with Linux and Windows instance. I have made this as two videos just for making you people comfortable. And if you have any question, post it in the comments. And let's see in the next video. And in the next video, we'll be looking at ENI, Elastic Network Interface. Till then, bye. Thank you.